What's up, YouTube? This is Chris Stefana, special, Motivated Living, with a super special guest, Matt, aka the Georgia Gent. Hi,
What's
Matt.
up, guys? Matt, aka Gent.
Welcome to the channel. He's here to help brighten our environment for us.
Thank you for having me on, man.
I appreciate.
I really appreciate it.
Appreciate you joining us. This is we're going to discuss some, I guess you would say, mental health issues. But first, since I know a lot of people who are going to tune in are fragrance people like we are, this meeting on our end is being brought to you today. Chanel Allure Extreme Sport, and she is wearing Juicy Couture Viva La Juicy. You can smell that. What's your meeting scent?
Well, my meeting is where I just sprayed my fragrance this morning, my CK1 Shock. That's what this morning. That's kind of got that down a little bit. Not a lot, not all the way, but it's not quite there anymore.
I like
but
that.
Before I got in the car, I came with my Silver Mountain water cologne.
There it is.
It cooled me off in the heat. It's nice.
That's good juice. So she's going to discuss some things. We originally were talking about depression and other issues that could affect people, and she's just going to share some things, and I'll let you bounce questions back and forth, being a professional in your field.
And having mental ailments myself, I've struggled since I was 7 with it, and I'm finally at a peaceful place. It took a long time.
But it did.
Yeah, lots of different medicines and.
Yeah. Well, internally speaking, how were you able to cope with that?
Well, at first, when I was younger, I didn't. I was just angry all the time. It wasn't until I was 22. I had a good relationship at the time. Sorry.
Oh, you're good.
But I was in a good relationship. We were buying a house. It was a summer, beautiful day. My window was open. The wind blew in my face, and it was just beautiful. My wind chimes were chiming, and I woke up angry. Like, why am I so angry? I have no reason to be at this point. So I personally used to mess with my counselors. I didn't take the medicine the way I should have when I was younger. I said I don't have a problem. Well, I decided to check myself in to an institution at 22, and that's where I met a really good doctor. His name is Dr. Rao in Wellsville, New York, because I'm originally from New York. And that's when he said, you have a history of bipolar. You are bipolar, but you're also BPD. And for what people don't know, what BPD is borderline personality disorder. So he started me on instead of an antidepressant, we started with a Class C drug. It's called Zyprexa, and it's an antipsychotic. Those type of medicines, people need to really realize that it takes 4 months for it to really build in your system for you to see an effect. And I saw myself getting happier. Everybody around me noticed it. My current boyfriend at the time's mom stopped me from walking through the house, and she just said, are those medicines helping you? Because you're just so bright and happy. And I mean, my mom noticed it, everybody did. And that's when I started taking it all seriously. But I didn't take it too seriously. They gave me the tools that I needed to use. Retraining your brain is what, yeah. So I used it. I was doing good, and then I met a very toxic person. My daughter's biological father was extremely toxic, and he took me down a different path. And I lost my medicines. I lost my insurance. I went down a really rough road. It was dark. And then somehow I got myself out of it. I am able to take myself out of a 1-2 situation and look at it as a third party instead. And when I did, all the people around me didn't have their children. They were all on drugs, unfortunately, and so was I at the time. And it was to numb my situation. And I said, this isn't me. I never would have done this. I'm not this person. I want to be part of the person, but I want to make it better. So I came back to Indiana where my strength is. My father helped me. And I did soul searching. But I did it without medication. I did it without drugs and medication because I needed to know what part of me was the bipolar and what part of me was me. And that's, yeah, when I learned my triggers. But it's like a post I put on Facebook the other day. You know, ignoring your triggers is not healing. It's when you're triggered and you go forward and move forward through the pain and come out with a better ending.
So she has help, whether it be outside resources like people, and there's places and things always play a part in any type of recovery. You don't want to be around. Yeah, that's a big thing.
It's a big thing. You you definitely need at least one person in your corner, because and that truly understands who you are on and off your medicine. That's my father. So
I've seen it too.
Yeah, and he's in the beginning of our relationship, I didn't have my medicines. It was crazy. But,
teamwork though, you know, and it's all about looking for better. And she has a way of assessing situations and always looking for some sort of positive in it, even though there's, you know.
That's part of the retraining your brain.
Yeah, and self-reflection's big too. You know, you have to be aware.
You gotta love yourself. That's really key. You got to know your worth. You got to say, you got to know. Go ahead.
That's a beautiful story.
Thank you.
Because it's not like you've gone from the bottom to mentally and physically where you were at the top in your emotions, then back down to the bottom, and now you're back.
Well, no, that's not entirely. I'm not. Recently, my Zyproxa, I've had a lot of health issues hit me in the last 4 years. And somehow I slipped into a really bad depression and I couldn't get myself out of it. And to do it, I had to numb that part of me. You know, that all the medical bad news was just like, okay, how do I deal with this and then go on, walk in my door and smile and hold my family up at the same time? So I numbed it, but in the process of numbing that, I numbed everything. So I had a real talk with my doctor and we switched my medications to Vraylar, and I am doing good on it. It's again in the same class C drug. It's antipsychotic. I'm doing really good. I'm on half a dose right now. I start the full dose on Saturday. This is why I wanted to have this conversation now, because I can tell you exactly, you know, because my head's sort of quiet, but the mess is still there.
And there's a lot of, oh, go ahead, Matt.
I'm sorry. You're hopeful.
I'm hopeful, yes.
You sound hopeful.
I am, yeah.
And right now, that's all it takes.
Well, I have a really good support team too.
Yeah. And
it's the hope coming from you and your support system.
Yes.
And the will to get there.
Yeah, that will is going to be key in your recovery. But everybody says the first thing, admitting you have a problem, is the hardest. It's not, because I've walked through my life and heard a lot of people say, "Oh, I have bipolar. I have the second part and third part are the hardest. That's getting help for it." And being consistent with it. You can't just go on medication and say, "Oh, I feel better," and stop taking it, because it don't work that way. If you're sick, you're sick. You need that medication to keep you straight.
Yeah, and you don't want to let your pride get in the way, you know, where, because she wanted to address how a lot of people don't want to go get the help. They figure they just put it off and are afraid to step out there, or, you know, and in turn it, you know, it keeps people down or not feeling the best.
Yeah.
So she's wanting to share her story to help people who maybe are on the fence about seeking some sort of counseling. And, you know,
I've been meeting with my counselor 5 years now. Every Wednesday, she comes to my house, and we sit there and chat, and I tell her what's going on. It feels better, you know. But
she's become a family friend too.
If you've got to tell your story or what's bothering you, what's on your chest more than once, do it. I mean, get it off. Keep telling it until it's just, you feel better about it, you know?
Yeah.
Don't take it to a dark place, because that's what a lot of people do.
Yeah, or hold it in until it destroys them. And, you know, not all of us like talking or getting in front of a camera or sitting down with a stranger telling them. And I tell people what's helped me, like, to write things out. Like when my father had committed suicide, I made to finally heal from it. I wrote him a letter, and, you know, so there's different ways to get help.
Yeah.
You know.
I've only been recording now in front of the camera for like 3 weeks. I've never been someone that has, you know, gone out of my way outside of the work setting. Just because before I was doing my taxes here, before I was doing insurance, before I was doing financial counseling here, I was a peer support specialist in a crisis unit. So I would lead and facilitate groups for those that were in crisis, those who were unable to live day to day. I was the person that they would meet with. They would discuss their daily living, and we would formulate a plan that wasn't necessarily. It wasn't. I wasn't giving medical advice. I wasn't giving. I wasn't telling them what medicines to and to not take. It was more or less an intern, someone to speak with on a peer level.
Yes.
I was diagnosed with anxiety and major depression when I was around 17 years old. And since then, I've had to learn my triggers in the easy way and the hard ways.
Yeah.
That's not always fun. It's not always fun finding these new triggers and having to find new ways to cope with it.
Yeah, that's where I'm at right now. I just met with my counselor like not even an hour ago. And that's the one thing that I actually just told her. On this medicine, I'm having to learn how to cope all over again. Because before with the Zyprox, like I said, I went numb. And with this Vraylar, I am more alive. I feel like myself. I'm joking. I'm laughing. But at the same time, inside me is still struggling because I'm not on a full dose. So I fidget a lot. It's my anxiety. So I'm learning all over again how to cope with feelings that I've put away for so long, like my medical problems, and it's been hard. I'm not gonna lie, it's been really hard, and I have had plenty of anxiety attacks. They put me on some anxiety medicine, and so our daughter is mentally ill as well, and that's been our biggest challenge here lately, because when it's a child and not an adult, it's hard. It's harder to get. Approach. Yeah, it's a totally different process.
Now that's something though we could probably, because I'm trying to watch the clock because he's
on
his break to do this with us.
I honestly, I feel like I followed you guys around.
Right.
On this.
But
I didn't feel right cutting this.
Yeah. So what we could do though is find a good stopping point so we don't make you late. Because your employer's probably not going to understand that we're hanging out.
Yeah.
They want you, and we can, if you're up for it, and we're up for it, like continue this at another time too, and do like a part 2, or we can make this like an ongoing series to,
Awesome. Yeah.
and this kind of test the waters. And
I love talking to people like this, outside the work setting.
Me too. Me too.
Just because it's real,
Yeah.
A lot of times in there, I get kind of structured. About things, and I don't get to use what I've learned in real world situations.
We just lost you. There it is.
Hey, because I learned all these things through the years that I've worked in treatment centers, and
probably from experience as well with you having problems.
That too.
It makes you better. I honestly would rather work with somebody that has issues
than someone who learned from a book.
Than somebody that just read it from a book because they understand what's going on.
And someone telling you do this.
Yes.
And they have no idea.
They have no clue.
How this is gonna.
I never liked the do this thing. I like the let's set a goal but make it
attainable.
Not even if it's just waking up every day. And instead of looking at your wall saying, "Oh, I hate that color," you find the beauty in the beginning of the day. You're set.
Right. And if you don't like the color of the wall, put a bunch of posters on it.
Which we did.
Yeah, there you go. And see, in a way, just like when I was employed as simply not simply, but as a peer support specialist, I was basically a professional planning aid. So I would take someone who has a goal, and whether that be recovery, or whether that be recovery from substance, or recovery from some sort of mental condition, and we would sit down and we would plan out these goals with from 1 step to 100 steps of what we think is reachable, and what we think, what they think could be done.
So you're kind of like a case facilitator.
pretty much.
Okay, yeah, that's what my I call her my counselor, but she's my case facilitator. Yeah, we go over a goal plan every couple months.
Yeah, but the difference is that I'm you know, the counselor very well could have a background in either substance or mental health,
Mm-hmm.
you know, issues. But I would come to them and what they're going through with, you know, empathetic and actually listen to them.
Yes.
And not guide them, not necessarily direct them into to something, but just support them.
Exactly.
In the easiest way of putting it.
From a peer's perspective, even though you're in a clinical position. Yeah.
And that's the same with Lisa.
Mm-hmm.
She's really been in our life for 5 years, and I honestly, she is a family friend now. You know, we talk. I even text her through the week, or she's always there. You know, on the weekends too.
Looking at that clock.
It's 17.
Yeah. And he clocked out a little early. I don't want to make you late.
Yeah, and we were messing with the computers.
Yeah, and this is just kind of like a test run for y'all watching. The camera, we're using the webcam, but I'm looking at this cam. Sorry, we're ignoring you. We can work on some things and try to improve this. Anybody who has familiarity in this type of equipment stuff, drop a comment for us. That's Matt, the Georgia Gent, tuned in with us. We definitely appreciate having you, man. Welcome to our home, and we hope to do it again.
Thanks for inviting me, guys.
Oh yeah, anytime.
I want to say to anybody that's struggling, there's hope out there. Please reach out, even if it's to a friend.
Yeah, or even if you want to do it in the comments.
Sometimes it's easier to do it to a stranger.
And if not a friend, there's.
Oh yeah, there's.
And if not a friend or a stranger, there are ways of going online and finding someone to talk to.
Yeah, you can be completely anonymous.
Yeah. So it's out there.
And it's just someone to talk to.
That's right. I've done it.
Yeah, we just did it. Well, heck yeah, we appreciate it, Matt, and we hope you have a good afternoon and the rest of the workday goes smooth. Sorry we kept you so long. And hope to see you again here sometime.
Hope you're okay.
And maybe one day we'll meet up and we'll all be in the Chrysler doing video. Back seat looks comfortable. Have a good day.
Great meeting you.
See you, bud.
See you guys. Bye.
Bye.
Motivated living.
Change is on the horizon.